Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about the king himself, which is none other than Noctis and his best friend Prompto. Now both of these two characters are going to be getting their C90s, but Noctis is going to be getting a rework and his BT+. Sadly, Prompto is not getting any rework with this upcoming banner, but are they actually worth pulling for? Well, we're gonna look into what exactly they're gonna be getting with their C90s, Noctis with his rework and his BT+. Now, one thing that I do want to say is that when this banner dropped in JP, before the next Transcendence event came to JP, but on Global, seeing as how things are slightly different, I am going to speculate that this banner might be released with the 4-year anniversary countdown campaign co-op event that is dropping on the 17th, which also includes a Lufenia/Lufenia Plus event within this co-op event. So if by chance it does actually come out, well, this video is here for you guys to watch, and if it does not, well, then I guess this video will still be here for when they actually do decide to drop his banner. But I guess we'll see, because they didn't really specify on what's going on with that event. But either ways though, in case it does happen, we're gonna go ahead and talk about what these two characters are gonna be getting. And of course, I did make slides for this video because, again, you guys have really been enjoying the slides. So I'm gonna continue doing so if I do have the time. And another thing that I do want to mention is that I do have a Discord server. I don't know if many people know about it or not. I leave a link down in the description of the video, but yes, I do have a Discord server. If you guys want to join, that link will be down in the description of this video or in a pinned comment. Feel free to come in, say hi, say hello to myself or anybody else. And yeah, but with that being said though, guys, if you guys do enjoy the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. Let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Let's talk about Prompto, Noctis, and whether or not you guys should pull on this banner. So we'll first start off with Prompto with his EX extension and his C65 extension. So some things to know with Prompto is that with his EX passive equip, Prompto now gives himself a 60% Brave damage delta and a 30% stolen max Brave overflow. With the EX extension equipped, when using his EX ability, it got a huge Brave potency boost, and his attacks now are AoE that deals full HP damage. Previously, it was not doing that. Like, it used to be like random HP hits across all targets on the field, but this changes up his EX ability dramatically, because with the right team comp, he can potentially dish out some pretty good damage with his EX ability. Now, after using his EX ability, it turns his Brave attack into Overkill++, which does the following. It breaks the target before his first Brave recovery. It increases the Brave based on 200% of his attack. It becomes a 4-hit ranged Brave plus an HP attack 2 times. It extends the attack down debuff by 1 action. Now, this does not add to the turn count except when you're using him during the summon phase and or friend support, and it reverts back to its previous state after usage. Then, with his C65 extension, it increases the attack effect to 25%, and this is only for him. It adds 20% Brave gained received up effect himself, and his C65 got extended by 2 actions, so now it is at 6 actions. Now we'll switch over to the king himself, which is Noctis. Now Noctis, with his skill 1 Shooting Star and the plus version, now deals 3 Brave hits on both the single target and AoE attack, and it deals 80% splash HP damage. His skill 2, whenever using Death Drop or the plus version, it now turns into a 6-hit ranged Brave plus an HP attack 2 times with an increase in Brave potency. When using his Warp Strike or the plus version, it now turns into a 4-hit ranged Brave plus an HP attack with an increase in Brave potency. With his EX extension, with his EX passive equip, Noctis gets the following things. He gets a 80% Brave damage delta, which will really help him out in capping out in damage. A 30% stolen max Brave overflow, a 20% recast speed increase to his EX ability, and when the quest begins, he starts off with a max Brave Up and Attack Up buff. His EX extension now turns his EX ability into a 4-hit melee Brave plus an HP attack 4 times with a huge increase in Brave potency. In between his HP attacks, except for the last, he recovers Brave based on 50% of the HP damage dealt, which really helps him out whenever he is using his EX ability, because on top of the increase in Brave damage that he is getting from his EX passive, starting off with 50% of the HP damage dealt from the previous HP attack will easily help him out in capping out in damage. Now he increases the stolen max Brave overflow to 150%. His buff, Armor Gear, now gives him an HP damage delta based on his stacks. Now he has a total of 5 stacks, so as you can see, at 1 stacks it'll be a 5% HP damage increase, then it goes up to 7, 10, 12, and then finally at max stacks you get a 15% HP damage delta for Noctis himself. Now his C65 extension gets an additional use now, being a total of 3, which is fantastic because for those who may not know, his C65 basically gives him the plus versions of his skill 1 and skill 2, which are basically the more powerful ones. And then whenever you use it, he gets an increase in self-stolen max Brave overflow effect to 40%, and they also added an attack up and max Brave damage up cap up effect, both being at 20%. Finally, with his BT effect, if you do decide to BT plus him, at 0 out of 3, if you just throw a book at it, his attack now becomes a 12-hit ranged Brave plus an HP attack 2 times with a big increase in potency, and he can do up to 1.4 mil in damage. At 1 out of 3, he gets an additional turn in his burst mode. At 2 out of 3, it extends his BT effect to 6 turns. Now, I feel like a lot of players might question his BT effect, thinking that it might be short, but after using Noctis with his BT plus and whatnot, I think it is actually just fine in my opinion. But hey, you guys are more than welcome to let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comment section below. Also, with his extension to his BT effect, he also gives the party a 50% Brave damage up and a 30% Brave damage cap up. Now for his follow-up attacks, if you do fully BT plus his BT weapon, his follow-up attacks at 2 out of 3 becomes a 3-hit ranged Brave plus an HP attack 2 times with a Brave potency of 80% per hit, and it does allow for 150% stolen max Brave overflow. So then we get to the point of the video where you guys decide whether or not it is worth pulling on this upcoming banner featuring Noctis and Prompto. So let's start off with Prompto. So Prompto, I think many players, aside from any new players who are watching this video, know that with Prompto, he's an evasion unit that does include lock in his kit, which really helps out against single target attacks, so that way your teammates ain't got to worry about being attacked. Aside from that, though, I mean, he does have an LD ability with a buff included in that, where it does provide some small party auras, nothing too crazy, nothing too spectacular. It's kind of like something to add on to the potential party auras that you may have from your other teammates. Or even if you don't need the party auras from Prompto, he does also have a follow-up attack with his LD ability that is a link attack that is able to break the enemy, which can come in handy in some situations, especially if all of a sudden they get a big amount of Brave. Well, guess what? With his follow-up attack will be able to break that as long as the buff is at 2 stacks and after an ally's turn happens. So aside from that, though, I mean, like his EX ability, I mean, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I mean, with his EX ability, he is able to dish out some much higher damage compared to what it was previously. His C65 also helps him out a little bit as well. But overall, though, I mean, like the main thing about him is definitely going to be that he has ways to break the enemy, and he is able to evade attacks with that 100% evasion, which I believe lasts for 3 turns, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, if you need yourself a unit that has evasion in his kit, I mean, Prompto's not he's a decent option, but I don't think he's one to actually chase for. Like, I don't think he's a character that is like needed. especially because there are like, you know, future characters later on in the next few months where they have much more evasive ways, I guess, if you want to put it that way, of avoiding attacks, even if it's like a single target or even if it's an AoE attack. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, he's a decent option, but like he's not something like he's definitely not a character that's like, oh la la, like, oh my god, he got a C90, he's like amazing. Like, you know, you can definitely make him work in certain team comps for sure, but you know, I don't think that he is a character, at least at this moment, that is really worth chasing over unless you really need a unit that is able to evade and whatnot. Now with Noctis though, Noctis, of course, Noctis is one of the big things about with Noctis is the fact that with his BT effect, it has those follow-up attacks. Well, with the upgrades that he got with his overall kit though, I mean, him not being able to cap up on damage would either be the cause of some very heavy grave reductions from the enemy, or just the team comp is not set up right, because with these upgrades, Noctis should be able to cap up in the amount of HP damage that he is dealing onto the enemy. Now those follow-up attacks, if you do decide to BT plus them though, I mean, like having those 2 additional is nice, or 2 HP dumps on his follow-up attacks is nice. Now I know some players might not be too happy with the fact that his BT effect is not as long as they want it to be, but after using Noctis myself in a good amount of Lufenias, I think that with having 2 uses of his BT effect, if you do BT plus him, I honestly think that it's more than enough to have, especially if you have characters that turn hog, or if you have if you're going to encounter an enemy that says jumps in the turn order, then Noctis is not a bad option to have. Now, like, I mean, if Noctis was able to do a follow-up attack after the enemy acts, that would have been amazing. But either ways though, I mean, for him to be able to act after your after your ally's turn and his own turn with a follow-up attack, and he's able to recover you know, some brave in between those follow-up attacks and whatnot, I think it's pretty good in his overall kit though. Another thing that I feel like some players might say is that his LD attack didn't get any changes at all, and you know, to that really I can't really say too much. I mean, it is a powerful LD ability with the fact that you're pretty much giving himself and your teammates ways to continuously attack over and over, twice to be exact, with the buff that he provides. But I definitely could see a potential another rework for Noctis, especially with his LD ability, with how we are at it in the Shinryu era in JP. I could definitely see another one happening later on. But if you need yourself another strong DPS character, Noctis is definitely not a bad option, especially for those who are considering maxing out the small sword ultimate weapons, which is his ultimate weapon, weapon type, excuse me. Then Noctis is not a bad option at all. I did not regret BT plusing him and using him for some of this gameplay and some of the gameplay that I've done off screen. Yeah, it definitely reminds me how much I enjoyed using Noctis. So, but I can also understand players holding off, especially because 4-year anniversary is literally right around the corner. But yeah, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think on both of these 2 characters, if you are considering pulling for them, or if you have, or if you already have them, or if you have Noctis's BT weapon, are you going to BT plus it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Other than that though, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next video.